Hey Leah, what are we unwrapping today?
We are unwrapping the in-laws.
Crinkle, crinkle.
I liked your first take, Eugene, when you said, "So, Leah, what are
Crinkle,
we
crinkle.
unwrapping today?" But,
Well, we
whatever.
could do another take, whatever the director needs.
Hey was just so short. You went in there with a smooth so,
We can
Leah,
edit it
what are we,
together.
what are
That's
we
true.
unwrapping today?
Yeah, you guys will
Uh,
never know.
It wasn't even that smooth. It's
Yeah.
just that he's got his microphone working.
so Leah, right? So I had lifted, I gifted Leah the Criterion Collection Blu-ray
Yes.
of The In-Laws. Not as Patrick believes, the 2003 remake with Michael Douglas and Albert Brooks, but the
Underrated classic.
1979, the 1975 Arthur Hiller film with Peter Falk and Alan Arkin. I'm just gonna say it. Peter Falk, Peter Falk is a sexy man, but in this movie, with the tan slash sunburn, even sexier.
I can't disagree.
The way that the cigarettes hang out of his mouth, I
Hmm,
just gold,
sure.
gold. So what'd you think, Leah?
I liked it. Obviously, the Criterion sold me before I started. I was like, okay, we're in for like an artful-ish movie. So I was excited about it. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Laughed a lot. But also there was a lot of deeper stuff going on, like weird political things I didn't expect. Like I feel like now in retrospect, I was like, this is a very interesting movie for that time. Like really
Yeah.
interesting. And some of that stuff is still really relevant. So I'm curious to talk about that. Yeah, really liked Peter Falk. Loved Alan Arkin. I don't think I even remember ever seeing him without gray hair, so that was funny just to see him with dark hair. I enjoyed that a lot. And just all the New York stuff. I just love the New York 70s stuff in
No,
movies.
I
It's
know.
always just so refreshing.
It's wonderful. Like the cafe when they're eating lunch, right? They're at
Hmm.
a luncheonette, right? And the
Right.
pea soup. I'm like, oh, I want
Right. The pea
luncheonette.
soup.
I
Yeah.
want I the last time Patrick and I, what was the last one of the last luncheonettes in the city, I think. Is like right off of Times Square. What is it? Was it like Cranberries? What was it called, Patrick? It was upstairs. What's it
Mhm.
called?
It was called
Cranberry.
the Cranberry. It was actually the Cranberry 2.
The Cranberry too. That place
Yeah.
ruled.
Where was that?
It was on, what was it, 46th Street between Broadway.
In between 45th and 46th off of Broadway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
maybe
like,
something like that. But
yeah.
I would take field trips there for lunch. It's just really easy. You order downstairs and you take your food upstairs to eat.
It was like a place, I think it was like under the radar place where a lot of Broadway performers would eat. Like
Hmm.
they're like I used to when I was promoting comedy clubs, we used to take our lunch. We discovered that place because it had the second floor was just a big luncheonette where you could just sit down and eat your food and not be bothered. And like so we like, Jeff Goldblum was like there eating lunch one day, like John C.
That's
Riley.
so cool.
Yeah, like John C. Riley for like a solid week was up there because nobody bothered him, and
Wow.
we weren't going to bother him. So it was just kind of cool that it was a nice little place, and you can get a good cheeseburger or a slice of pizza or a salad,
I,
whatever
I
you'd like.
I totally
Yeah.
would have bothered him.
Yeah.
I would have slipped him some cellophane.
You wouldn't
Oh,
have, because we would have
ha
been like,
ha.
dude, don't bother him. Like you're not the only person here that would want to slip him cellophane. Just
Oh my God. I wonder how many people have done that. I mean,
I
really.
bet nobody has done that.
I bet somebody has, really annoyingly.
Hey,
Oh my God.
hey, hey! I've seen plenty of Famos, and I haven't done anything.
Yeah, I'm sure I think I've approached a few people, but that'll be for another podcast. But serious question based on this, what is the difference between a luncheonette and a diner? Do we know?
Oh, good question. I mean, in New York City, right? It was great to have that second level. Like any place where you can go to that second level, you can walk up those steps,
Okay.
chill out. By the time we were working in the city, like that stuff was gone. I mean, most of the places to eat, like when we were working in Harlem, they were trendy places that were fine, but like still lame, and that were just popping up. And then you would have like corner stores, which were fine too, but sometimes you didn't want to get something from like a corner store.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think if you count the one by Columbia, there was one quote unquote luncheonette
Oh,
there.
right, on Amsterdam, off of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What was that place called? Off of Amsterdam. The place ruled, and it was open 24 hours. We went there a
Yeah.
ton.
Wait, now I have to figure out what this place is. That was like a
There's a couple of
luncheonette?
them though. I don't.
It
I
was
feel
it was a
like
deli. It was a deli, and it had
Oh,
a
was it that
grocery
apple
store.
tree plate or was it that?
Yes,
Oh,
right.
okay.
What
Yeah, that
apple
place
tree?
was
Yeah,
pretty great. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That place had amazing sandwiches. That place was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no place to eat there. But no, that was probably I would probably say 25% of my meals when I lived on the
Yeah.
Upper West Side were from that place.
Yeah. No, I did like that
wait, is
place.
that where we used to get? That's not the deli that we used to get sandwiches before we go to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that was the place.
Okay. But they didn't have a sit down. That was just a deli.
No, yeah,
Yeah, it was just
that
like
was
a good
Yeah.
that place
deli.
still
Yeah.
that place still ruled.
Well, there was a place we went to once, Michael, when we went to a movie theater in Times Square, I think with one of your friends, and we went to it was like a big diner. It was
Oh
had been
yeah.
there forever. That's the place I thought you were talking about
No,
initially.
that's not it. That place was cool, but I don't think we saw the movie. You met us there afterwards, right?
Oh
Or
yeah, that I think it was snowing that night or something.
we
Yeah, I
saw
met you
because
like,
we saw Haywire, and
oh
you
right, that's what it
and you were
was. And I
like,
was like,
nah,
no thanks.
Yeah. I was gonna
Haywire
say you
rule. I
saw
love Haywire.
Haywire?
Oh,
No, I
Haywire
was like, I'll
rules.
skip it, but I'll meet you guys for dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
Very generous
Haywire
of you.
rules.
Yeah.
I mean, Gina Carano. I really don't agree with her politically, but but that movie ruled, and McGregor played such a great piece of garbage in that movie. Fassbender is great in it. That movie ruled. Yeah, I would love to watch that movie again. But anyway, yeah, we went there afterwards, and I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. But that I feel like that was like an institution that probably has been there since the 70s at least.
Yeah, that place
I
was
don't
cool.
specifically know if like any of these places that we're talking about would qualify as like a luncheonette, but I don't know if there's a difference between a luncheonette and a diner because I was just like looking at it quickly and it's just essentially like a small restaurant with counter service. So I
Okay.
think it like kind of
That feels like a
but
diner.
yeah,
Maybe they just changed the name. Like people don't call things luncheonettes anymore, and now they're just diners. I don't know.
Yeah,
shit.
true.
Which they should, right? That's what we need to do. We need
Yeah,
to
I like that.
when this podcast unwraps itself
Yeah,
on the listening public, and
it's
we
gonna hit
start
the
bringing in those,
zeitgeist.
yeah, and we really kind of like get that Olipop cash flowing in.
They're gonna change all the diners to luncheonettes because of us.
We will open a good old vintage dine, a luncheonette.
We should. Well, my dad's family had a luncheonette growing up, so
Yeah,
it all comes. And I had never heard that word before. I was like, "What's a luncheonette?" Like no one used that term.
I think of that luncheonette every time I watch The French Connection,
Hmm.
and the small time dealer who runs that luncheonette. I'm like, I wonder if this was Brooklyn too. I think, and wasn't your dad's family's?
No, it was in Upper
Yeah.
Was in
Washington
Manhattan.
Heights or Inwood area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Manhattan, but it was like also sort of a candy store, they called it. So I don't know. It was like somewhere in between, I think.
I was thinking more of like in Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, wait, what? I'm trying to. Oh, that. Oh, yes. That scene where they all start singing and then sing outside of the diner.
Yeah, the one scene in Tick Tick Boom when they all start singing. That's exactly the
You
one I
know
was
what?
referring
It
to.
may have actually looked like that because I have like some pictures of it and it was small and like narrow
Yeah.
like that one. You may be onto something.
What's the line? We're bouncing all over the place, but I'm bringing it back to the in-laws. What's the line
Yeah,
in the beginning where he's running down the street and he's like, oh God, Alan Arkin, oh God, don't let me die on Third Avenue? Was it Third Avenue?
maybe. I think they were on third because I remember seeing a sign at some point. And I think they were on third.
My favorite line, and I tried to look it up on IMDb, and they didn't have it in the quotes page, which is so annoying.
Hmm.
They have other good quotes.
That's because Third Avenue thinks it's big time now.
Right.
Yeah,
Too cool for us. Well, I also love the line at the end, like when he's about to die, when they're being shot at and they're behind the car, and he's like, I just can't die alone back here. I'd rather just be killed, but I can't be left alone, like behind this car. I'm
yeah,
like,
it's
this is
right
fucking ridiculous.
when they're shooting at the car. He's like,
Yeah,
I'll get the keys. What do you mean?
right.
It's like,
It's
what a
like, just
guy.
don't leave me
Oh,
alone.
if you're out there dead and I'm back here,
Right.
like,
Yeah. No,
take
it's
it.
really well written for the characters. Like, you really get
Yeah.
them.
I
Yeah.
was dying. I mean, I've seen this movie a couple of times now, but I just every time I forget about Pepe. I forget about Pepe, and the whole time Pepe's out there, I lose it. I can't believe it works. I just lose it. It is hysterical. Arkin's reactions, the kiss. Falk giving him
Yeah.
a
Although there is a term used that would not be used anymore. And he's like, that guy's a flaming fruitcake. I think I even wrote it. Yeah, I
yes.
think that is I was like, well, they definitely couldn't do that anymore, but
No, they cannot.
they're
At
not
least
wrong.
I've heard worse. I
A
have heard
raving fruitcake. He's a
raving.
raving
Yes,
fruitcake.
yes, yes. And all the potentially bad things for folks to say, movies that make me cringe. That's not so bad.
Yeah. Because he's
Um,
also a
I-
dictator. So,
yeah,
I guess we get a pass for insulting him.
Maybe they're just stigmatizing his mental health, you know?
That's right. He is a raving lunatic and also
Yes.
homosexual. But
well,
yeah,
he
that
was.
whole
I mean,
end scene was
he had the prostitute, right? So I mean, maybe fruitcake just
that's
me. He's crazy, right?
true.
The prostitute on the flag and on the medals.
So
Right.
we're just revealing our own internalized homophobia.
I guess so. I mean, I've never heard fruitcake being used to describe mental illness, but I'm
Oh,
open to the
it's so
term
funny.
being
I
used.
just had a big debate with a coworker because they said fruitcake and I said you can't say that. And we were like, "Well, who is it stigmatizing?" And then we went back and it's rooted in stigmatizing both the LGBTQIA community as well as the mentally ill.
Is this an actual story
Yeah.
that actually happened?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. We
This
just
is for the record, one of three actual stories that I've told.
Yeah, right, exactly. That right. Patrick has to be asked multiple times, right, if what he's saying is true.
we're just used to move this conversation along.
Yeah, that's me. We're like,
So for anyone, right, who at this point doesn't get it, right, we're a big physical media podcast. We promote physical media, and I know that Eugene, you just bought it, right?
Yeah, I did.
And what'd you think?
It was fantastic. The part that I enjoyed the most, of course, involves Chinese character. So James Hong, yeah, in the airplane, being the flight attendant who explains to what was the character's name? Um,
Shelly.
To Shelley, yeah, explaining to Shelley everything in Cantonese. So I heard what he was saying in Cantonese, and he was not being exact with his language. So as he was like pointing to different parts of the life vest, he just like, you just blow into this thing over here, and you gotta use this part over here to do this. He wasn't like, you're supposed to pull on this wire and like blow on this tube. It's just like, this thing here and this thing there, just like adding to. Like if you had been a Chinese person on that plane, be like, this guy is so unprofessional. What is happening?
We should have had you. We should have asked you to get a transcript of what James Hong was saying,
Yeah, that would have been
and
cool.
read it on the podcast.
Eugene, are you fluent in Cantonese? You
Only
listen?
listening
Mm.
if they're talking about pretty simple things.
Okay. Which you weren't until you did Rosetta Stone, another sponsor of our podcast.
God.
Eugene brought me to
Ugh.
he's a really good dim sum place in Chinatown on a Saturday afternoon, and he was super excited, and I embarrassed him by asking for an egg roll.
I was gonna say
and
this is
and for a fork, that's the main thing.
Did I ask for a fork? No, I didn't ask for a fork.
no, he stopped his fist on the table and said, "I want chicken fingers."
Oh my God. What is the place called?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh
It was an
no.
escalator. It was cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then
It was,
COVID hit and took out the big
Oh,
one.
that's too bad.
it was real
I think they still have a smaller version of that restaurant, but it's just not the same anymore.
Mm.
It was really good. Really, really good. I probably can't eat anything in there anymore, but it was amazing. It was one of the better dining experiences. It rolled, and I also missed. This was pre-COVID though. I missed Ollie. Ollie's had great egg rolls. They were
Oh,
huge.
Ollie's. That was, yeah, I
Ollie's
went
rolls.
there like every day after school in high school. It was like right down the street, and that would be like my after school snack,
Yeah,
weirdly. And then I'd
no,
go home and have dinner.
Ollie's rolls. Used to love going
Yeah.
there before a movie.
And
Hmm.
Ollie's is not a sponsor, right, Eugene?
I
Ollie's.
don't know if they
Hmm.
exist
They
anymore.
they
They
may
don't.
not
Probably
exist
not.
anymore. They also had, not to they
Yeah.
also had some food quality control problems,
Oh
but
yeah, there were
All
issues with
right,
that
whoa,
restaurant.
whoa,
I
edit
definitely
that
found
out. I
bugs
don't
in
want
my
to get
soup on
sued by.
occasion. Yeah,
okay,
this was widely known.
okay, they're not a sponsor and they don't exist
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, they don't. All right, they don't exist for a reason. All right, yeah. So back to the movie. It absolutely rules. Like I said, I'm a massive Peter Falk fan. Like I have every episode of Columbo on Blu-ray. Uh, uh, he's amazing, and the whole time, right? I don't. I mean, Leah, this is the first time you watched it, so. But for me, like I'm never questioning, right? Even when they say that he was tossed out of the CIA, I'm like, no way, these guys are coming, right? He's CIA the whole time, right? He's too competent to be this incompetent, right? It is hysterical throughout. Like you said, like those early scenes in New York, the luncheonette, running down the street. Oh, the cab driver, David Paymer. David Paymer as
Yes,
the
yes.
driver.
It took me half the movie
Cool.
to be like, I know this person, I know him, who is it? And then when I saw the credits, I was like, of course, David Paymer. But yeah, I love seeing those early. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
They let him do his own driving.
And he was great. Like he was great. He
Yeah,
was
he
like
was really
just
good.
just all in, right? Like, yeah, I'll drive you for the day, CIA. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. And even just like for the film to be able to be so silly, like for Falk to shoot, right, the banana truck, like the cars flip out on a banana truck,
Yeah.
gold.
Very smart.
Absolute gold. And oh, Leah,
But okay, wait. Well, I was just going to ask, how do we feel about the Peter Falk character? Because he's kind of, there's like a moral gray area with him. I wasn't sure how much I really liked him. Obviously, I love him. Like he's hysterical and he just has like a great just character and charisma. But, like, I don't know what the movie's really saying about him.
right, so like the first indicator, right, is when he yells at this kid at the dinner table. So you get that, and then
Hmm.
he puts Alan Arkin in mortal danger.
Hmm.
Uh, and he does apologize the whole time, right? And
Yeah.
does he really mean? Does he really mean it? His apology.
No, I don't think he cares about anyone, and he just acts how he wants to act. He's totally irreverent. I mean, it sounds like he's away from his family most of his life. And then he sort of goes rogue with the CIA, which I don't think is like really respected. He said he came up with the Bay of Pigs. I don't know what we're supposed to make of that, honestly. And then in the end, he steals, $10 million from a dictator. I don't know. So it's all a little bit, I'm like, okay. It's all like taken a little bit too easily, I think. Like, I wonder, should we care about any of these things?
I mean, so I have thoughts, but Patrick, what do you think?
No, I want to hear what your thoughts are because you guys kind of I was going to say it sounds like absentee dad, all is forgiven with a payout. Very, very. That's
I think it's more about him being funny and charming in a surface level kind of a way. Look, I'm pretty sure that if Arkin was kidnapped, right, Vince would go try to save him. Now, that doesn't mean that Vince wouldn't put Shelley in another life and death situation himself. And that's kind of how he rolls. The way that I watch the film, Falk is just entertaining. That's really all I care about. And when the film gets when I get touched, like when I'm emotionally invested, it's when Arkin is all in on Vince, right? When Shelley jumps on the cab to save him
Yeah.
when he knows better, and then I'm like, now we're cooking, right? Now now we're
Hmm.
cooking and now we're moving, and that was great. And also, Falk's character when he sees Shelley on top of the cab, he's like, I'm really touched. And he says it out loud, and I believe it, right? He says, I'm really touched, and it's hysterical. And he was very much take it or leave it. But at the same time, I'm invested because Shelley's invested.
This was probably my third time seeing this, might be my fourth. And this is the only time that I've picked up on like what Leah's saying. I wasn't just completely charmed by him. I was like, oh, I don't think he's that good of a guy. And it might just be like the state of the world that we live in. I was, talking pre-taping, like I'd much prefer watching Alex Garland's Civil War than listen to a con man charmy the,
Hmm.
after after stealing $10 million from a dictator.
No. Right, and that money, right, that $10 million, right, from the so when the US government takes 10 million from the dictator, right, the other 10 million, right, that 20 million, all of that money is from all the people of that country, right? It's stolen money from the people of that country,
Hmm.
right? And a dentist who lives in a mansion, right? And a guy who works for the CIA, right? They took the
Right.
money. They both living
Yeah, they really need the
sons,
money.
right? His son's at Harvard, right?
Or
Like, right.
Yale, I think it was. Wasn't he a
Oh yeah,
second
there
year
you go. Yale Law
Yale?
School. Yeah,
Yeah,
second
law
year
school.
Yale Law School,
Yeah.
right? So again, right, like they don't need the money, right? And they still,
Right.
right? The movie's not really doesn't want you to think about those things, right? Just want you to have some fun, like, oh, we took some money from a dictator. Doesn't matter where the money came from. And again, it's not as bad as like, you're watching Bad Boys 2 and they're in a Hummer driving over all these houses in Cuba, right? As they're going down a hill. Or you're watching a Zack Snyder film, or you're watching Man of Steel, and so many people are dying in the destruction of what's happening. You're just watching, Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, like, oh, they got one over on the U.S. government and the dictator, ha ha ha. And
Well,
like,
I think the movie works because it came out in 1979 and it was Alan Arkin and Peter Falk versus like in 2003 when Mike Douglas and Albert Brooks do it. We're like, we just invaded Iraq and we're like, no, I'm not really in the mood for this.
well, who knows that movie? Did you see that movie? I never saw it.
The In-Laws,
Yeah, the 2003 one.
2003.
Yeah.
Let's say I did. Let's say because I've
I was going to
conflicting
ask, is that
truth
the
in my mind.
background of that? Like, is that the political background in that movie?
Well, it came
Was
out in
the Iraq War?
2003, so I don't know the background
Sure.
of it, but I'm just saying,
I'm
like, I
sure
just
that's not it. The movie bombed hard. Like, it made no money.
Yeah.
It got terrible
I mean,
reviews.
because like you said, it really only works because of those two very charismatic actors. I mean, they're so good together. They're so funny independently.
they're
The
so
movie had a lot of
authentic.
style. Yeah.
At a time when there was still things to be authentic about. Like by 2003, I don't think that didn't exist anymore.
Yeah. That's probably
Especially in that
true.
that moment. I was just reading when when the remake came out in 2003 and it was getting trashed. Alan Arkin called Peter Falk to compliment him on his performance from the original.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Because
hysterical.
all the
Oh my
critics
God,
were
that
saying
is
that it
really
was
funny.
nothing compared to the original. And he was like, hey,
That's so
they're giving
funny.
us up praises.
Well, also Alan Arkin in the beginning, like all those scenes where Peter Falk goes to his work and he just like leaves that poor woman with that stuff in her mouth, or he just like leaves the office. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I mean, maybe people believed that at the time, but also that doesn't make him look great. Like he may be a nice guy, but like, I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do with that information.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not supposed to think too much about it, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm just going to judge them harshly for all of these things. But yeah, but he's better in comparison to Peter Falk, but he's also like, yeah, a little, I don't know if he's the most upstanding person.
Yeah, I think in 1979 we're definitely supposed to and allowed to look at things through the perspective of the patriarchy, and now we're choosing not to. That's probably the fairest way of putting it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, the heist in the beginning rules also, right? So like it
Great.
starts it starts it starts creative, it starts fun, right?
Hmm.
You're supposed to have the guy in the car driving the car. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Die Hard 2. The actor from Die Hard 2 who's helping Bruce Willis the whole time. Who kept saying it's the Arabs, right? And he kept saying like that's the driver of the car. It's the Arabs, which again, 1979. And you kind of, it's just you're having fun, right? Falk is reading the newspaper, right? You got the Capitol building behind him. He looks like his grandfather role a few years from then in The Princess Bride, and you're just hooked and ready to go on a ride.
Yeah, I loved the beginning. I mean, I was hooked from the beginning. I loved
Yeah.
the style of the credits too. Like I style goes a long way for me. Like I really enjoy like that thoughtfulness. So I loved that. Just the way the credits kind of came in and the music. And I did think that first, like the heist was really creative. I had never seen anything like that. Even like the face mask they were using were just like, what is
Yeah, they were
that? Like
cool.
what's on their
Yep.
faces? Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And I was definitely in the whole time. But then it just got a little bit more complicated.
It was, in my opinion, still top five best buddy films, and just like a completely enjoyable comedy. But I do have to say, what I was just thinking now, it's amazing to think how much I appreciate Midnight Run for holding up the way it does.
Midnight Run does hold up, like 100%.
Yeah. And I had no notes on the morality in Midnight Run, whereas this one a little bit more eh. So yeah, that even gives more points to Midnight Run. But I still really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I mean Ed Begley Jr. is awesome in it too,
Oh
right? I
my,
mean
I love that.
all
Yeah.
the side characters are great. He's amazing. Like on the phone,
Hmm.
coming at the end, and also like
Hmm.
all the side shtick. I love the side shtick. Like is there traffic? Like at the end when he's waiting for them to come, right? He's putting his finger in his ear. Did you hear a doorbell ring? Come on, this stuff. This stuff rules. It's supposed to be beyond. I think it's supposed to exist in Fantasyland, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Arkin is shot right he's only shot
Right, right.
down the street, right? And like in his like his coat like gets a little bit the zigzagging, right? And the other
Yeah.
guy
The
shot.
serpentine. Just run
Wait,
serpentine.
it's like, is he dead? If not, he's doing a hell of a job, right?
Yeah.
Fooling, right? The serpentine, they would have been,
Yeah.
right? They would have been murdered immediately.
Hmm.
Right? I really do think we're just supposed to enjoy the fantasy, the absurdity of it,
Yeah.
right? So why not give them, 5 million bucks a piece to go off with, and for us to not really,
Sure.
just to not think about it, right?
Yeah.
The serpentine is amazing, Leah. Like
Yeah, that scene was
in every
great.
way,
I was laughing for sure.
in
Yeah.
every way. There's no
Right.
way. Like that just makes you an easy target.
It's almost like slapstick, like that scene, because it's so over the top and they even like stop at some point. You're like, you're not even doing it right.
Right.
It's just so
He stops and
ridiculous.
runs back. Falk tells him, remember
Right.
this, right, right, and he runs back to do the
Right.
serpent to get back to
Right.
Falk.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's totally insane, but very enjoyable. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World for parts of it. Have you ever seen it? Because that's one of those like unknown classics. Like I watched that as a kid with my parents and just think it's one of the funniest things that's ever been. But I feel like this has elements of that kind of humor. It's just like so over the top, so slapstick, so ridiculous, but still just like so funny because the comedians that are doing it are so talented.
No,
So I
it
really
rules.
enjoyed that.
I mean, I know sometimes now people talk about that movie like, oh, yeah, for what it was good. It was the first kind of movie to do something like that. It was just a set piece for, all these different comedians. No, that movie
No.
rules. It is
Yeah.
3 hours long. I do not care. All the set
Mm-hmm.
pieces, they are amazing. The way it
Mm-hmm.
ends, like everything about it, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It is funny, start to finish. It's a blast.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the movie. I'm glad I saw it. I can't believe I had missed it all these years. So thanks.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's why I gifted it to you like 10
Hmm.
years
Yeah.
I probably gifted that one 5 years ago.
Well, and you spent a lot of money on it because it still had the price tag of
No,
$40.
no, no. I got that 50% off Barnes and Noble sale, and I'm sure I probably had an extra 10% off. So it was likely it was
Okay.
20 or it was 18.
Okay.
I,
All
I
right. That's a
shopped I
little
shopped the
better.
good sales. I shopped the
But
good
either
sales.
way, I
It
appreciate
is
the
hard to
gift.
take those Barnes and Noble price tags off because sometimes you could just like really rip the plastic. So
Mm,
I'm just like, whatever, I'll leave it on, assuming you wouldn't think I spent $40 on it.
okay. Well, either way.
Also, as a fun like tally, we should pay attention to like how many movies Michael gives Leah that he also gives other people. Like I do have the criterion
Interesting.
of the in-laws that's from Michael, so it's like a double. Like I don't know how many.
Hmm. Is this really like a personal gift or is this just like a thing you gift everyone?
No,
Oh, it's a
I've gifted
personal
that
gift,
movie. I've gifted that movie to three people. I've gifted it to both of you because I figured you both would love it. And
not
also
Eugene.
the
Just for the
cover art.
record.
Oh, please, Eugene gets plenty of gifts.
Yeah, but
Um,
I just want to be clear, not Eugene on
yes,
this
that's
one.
right, not Eugene. The cover art on that is so great too. I figured the two of you would just love the cover
Yes,
art.
I did. Especially
Yeah.
after I saw the movie. I was like, that's the perfect shot for this
Yes.
cover. Like, it's so
Yep.
great.
I gifted it to my buddy Ryan on his wedding day. I went out to Barnes& and Noble because they were still doing a sale, a Criterion sale, and I got him The In-Laws and In a Lonely Place, the Nicholas Roeg, Humphrey Bogart film. And
Hmm.
so like I gave him The In-Laws and I said, "This is the life you're entering into." And then
Oh my God.
his wife Isabella, and I said, "This would be your life without your wife." And I handed him In a Lonely Place, and the cover art, it's amazing. It's a shot of it's a shot of Bogart in a tuxedo sitting on the edge of a bed, just looking like he has no reason to live. He's in a tux and it's undone, and he looks like just so devastated and like titles In a Lonely Place. And
Good
yeah, that,
gift.
that movie rules too.
I've never seen that one.
Nicholas Roeg made amazing films like In a Lonely Place. He did Rebel Without a Cause. What's the one
Hmm.
with James Mason and Walter Matthau plays like a friend who's like the local gym teacher. Oh, come on, James Mason. It's a
Hmm.
wild movie. It is an insane movie. It gets super dark where he needs surgery. He needs back surgery, and like the pills have an effect on him to
Into
like
the
heal his
ocean.
back
Oh my
surgery.
God, that sounds
What?
amazing. I want to see that.
Into
It,
the ocean.
no, no, no. The movie rules. What's it called? I'm looking up right now. Nicholas Roeg. I really want to see Rebel Ridge as I'm looking these things up. I heard Rebel Ridge rules. Oh, Nicholas Ray, not Nicholas Rogue. Sorry, Nicholas Ray. In a Lonely Place, Nicholas Ray. Nicholas Rogue did The Witches, right? I probably should have just looked up James Mason.
Oh,
Bigger than
in real
life,
life?
bigger than life,
Got it
bigger than
first. Figured it out first.
Okay.
All the context clues.
You win. What
bigger
year
than
was
life
this?
rules. 56, I think.
Okay.
Patrick, do you have it up?
Yeah, I'm looking through
I could look it
IMDb
up,
now.
but I also think it's 56. Let me just look it up.
Wait, I have it. I
Yeah,
have it
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
here.
it's
Patrick.
56.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, wait, I'm not seeing it. Hold on.
It's
I'm in
Criterion.
James Mason's thing, IMDb. Well,
This
I
is
mean,
how I'm
I'll
such
find
a
it.
What an idiot I am. When you were doing that, I went to
You
type
don't
in.
need any context.
No, the people just like the viewing audience didn't, or the listening audience didn't know that Eugene was fluent in Cantonese. They don't know what an idiot I am. When I was quickly trying to Google James Mason Walter Matthau, and I saw like I was like doing it really quick because I'm at 100% today, and I like hit search, and I accidentally clicked James Mason walking into the ocean, which is the end of A Star Is Born. So I thought walking I
Oh,
thought Into the Ocean was the name of a movie with James Mason and Walter Matthau. That's my
I think
you're
that's the
close
best
enough.
Star. That's the best Star is Born. Protagonists taking themselves out.
Oh my God.
But the most upsetting one is the latest Star is Born, the Bradley Cooper one.
Yeah.
We were like Eugene and I, right? Eugene and I
Mhm.
saw Star is Born, like, and it was like a Sunday afternoon, a packed theater, and there were people on the first date, and they were in like their 40s or 50s next to us, and I think the woman was saying like, "What's he doing?"
My God.
I'm like he's making the dog the steak. Come on.
Oh my God.
You never want to hear that. That's why one of the best experiences, Leah, you probably remember this, when we were going to go see 12 Years a Slave, it was playing like at the Angelica and it was playing in Midtown. And I was very specific. I do not want to see it at the Angelica. We must see it
Hmm.
in Midtown. We must see it at the AMC Times Square. And, and you're like, yeah, fine, whatever. And movie ended. No one said
Hmm.
a thing. Everybody just walked out quietly, like kind of nodding at each other, like, yeah, good. The end.
Hmm.
I'm up to 7 Best Picture nominees. I saw Conclave last night, which I thought was people are saying is this supposed to be funny, and people are saying it's pretty tense. And
God.
I thought it was both. It was supposed
Funny.
to be funny, and it was tense.
Hmm.
And I loved it. It was entertaining. I thought it was wildly
Okay.
entertaining.
How did you feel about the ending? Because to me, the ending just came out of nowhere and it didn't work for me. I was like,
I
why,
kept
why do we
hearing
need
wait.
this? Why do we
people
need
kept
this?
saying like what well I mean one I would kind of be I think the movie would be boring if we didn't get an ending that if the ending was just like oh so this guy's the Pope, right? I like how
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. We won't
I
spoil anything.
we won't yeah we won't see the
I
beginning of
fell asleep watching it, and I thought it was very last night, and I thought it was very funny. But then I woke up and realized I was just watching Tim Robinson's "I Think You Should Leave."
My God. Yeah. I don't know that I would call Conclave funny, but I guess I just don't have a sense of
well,
humor.
just because I mean these I guess some people find it funny in that like is it like the question is it supposed to be funny and I really do think that the institution right the way that these men take themselves seriously, the sense of importance they have for themselves in practice and how they act, there is something funny about it. There's a hubris to it, there's an arrogance to it, right? And the whole and like in the film, Ray Fiennes' character is trying to not be that, right? The whole time, like to move away from that. Because when in that scene where the where the Italian Cardinal is angling to be the Pope and to return to Vatican I, and he gets so excited when everything's blowing up, and then he vapes. It's hysterical. I laughed out
Yeah.
loud. It was amazing. I was
Yeah, that was
dying.
a funny moment.
No,
So like, and
why are
that
you
guy
killing
is
that? Why are you killing that moment for me?
and that guy is comical. The moment he shows up, you're laughing hysterically. And he's supposed to be like the major threat. And Tucci, right, is also serious. There's comedy in them. And obviously there are scenes of great tension and great empathy. And I feel for Ray Fiennes' character, and Isabel Rossellini is incredibly cool in that film. And I'm probably, this may come out somewhat problematic, but after watching The Substance last weekend and watching Conclave last night, right? Like Demi Moore, Isabella Rossellini, like just still awesome. I'll just say still awesome, right? And I'll also
What's
say,
controversial about that?
well, I was gonna say still hot too, still smoking.
I
Ew.
knew that's where you were going. It's like you just like the older ladies.
They just both ruled in every way.
I don't
In
disagree.
those films. And the substance, I know Leah, you were saying, like you're curious about how I feel about it. I squirmed the entire film hard,
Hmm.
and it's not like I'm gonna run and watch it again. And I loved it, right? Like I loved it from start to finish, right? The grossest scene is the shrimp in the first 10 minutes. Like I thought that was more gross than anything else.
I don't
Dennis Quaid
even
eating the shrimp.
remember.
Dennis
Oh,
Quaid,
yeah, and the restaurant. Yeah, that was gross. You weren't grossed out by the end?
Wait, I
That was
didn't see it.
worse than the end. All
but
right.
not,
Don't write
but
it
but
yet.
not, but
Patrick, you
not
have to
the
catch
shrimp.
up.
I know. I just didn't know that that's what we're. I thought we all agreed on watching The In-Laws and Civil War. This
Right.
I watched Civil
Yeah.
War thinking that that's what we were going to do, and wow.
I have a short list pile, and Monkey Man and Civil War have been on it for a while. But now a whole bunch of new stuff came in that I'm gonna watch. What I did see yesterday, Eugene and I went to go see Anora yesterday, and that ruled.
Okay, so you did like it. I was like,
Yeah,
oh God, I hope they don't hate it and think I'm insane.
how would I totally
I
would
don't
not.
know. People have mixed feelings about it. And, there's like some salacious stuff that can alienate some people, but I think it comes back around. There's a point to it.
100%. And the way that he shoots a ton of it is right. Like so, I mean, the movie opens like hard, right? Like
Yeah, I
Salacious
didn't
is
see it
Hmm.
yet.
hard.
I really want to see it. The other ones
I'm
I
not
can.
saying, but
Yeah,
by like
because I'm gonna
20 minutes
spoil it.
in, right? He's using the sun to block it out if you're trying to see things, and if you're
Hmm.
almost as if like if you're trying to look, you really should say to yourself, "I have a problem." Like it's
Hmm.
almost like that scene is there for that reason. Like
Hmm.
he does like he hits he hits the ground running hard with salaciousness, and then like early on it's done, right? All that's
Hmm.
over,
Yeah.
and it's just and we're stuck in like this horror reality that's also quite hysterical, right? Like
Yeah,
those like
that long scene. I mean, that scene is so incredible. Like where she's just defending herself against these guys and she's just like so tough. I just really loved that. And they're all scared of her.
breaks
Like,
his
it's
nose.
hysterical.
It was amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. And the moment I'm gonna forget the guy's nominated for best supporting actor. Like the moment, talk about charisma, presence on screen. The moment he enters,
Hmm.
like I want to know more about this guy. Right? Like
Yeah.
the second he shows up.
Yeah.
Right. I want to know about him. I want to know about his grandmother. Uh, I don't necessarily want to be in a relationship with Nora, but I just want him to make sure that she's okay for the rest of her life. Right? And again,
Okay.
like
Her be her bodyguard.
what she says to him, right, is true. Like, dude, you kidnapped me, right? You tied me up, right? Like, none
Hmm.
of those things are not true, right?
Right.
It like the movie rules.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. No, I feel like ultimately it's about integrity, like people that have integrity and people that don't. I mean, the fact that that stupid kid just like flees. I mean, what a little pussy. I hate that term, but like seriously, it's sorry. I'm so
Eugene, double
sorry.
it,
Excuse me.
triple it every time. Every time the podcast ends, you should have Leah on repeat saying that with
No, that is not. This is not that type of
I know we shouldn't be using
podcast.
that. Those I know it's
Yeah, we
not
need to.
appropriate,
We need
it's
to
but
it's
utilize the
appropriate
sun to
it's
block it
appropriate
out.
to say that about that character,
yeah,
right?
he's like, I don't know how else to describe him. Like, he just is that. And, that she calls him out too. She's like, excuse me, like, what the hell?
Yep.
And then this other guy obviously is the opposite of that. Like, he
Now I
really
feel like I've
has
seen the
integrity.
movie.
I
Yeah.
know.
No,
Sorry, we're really ruining all these movies
no,
for
you
you.
haven't. Because even I heard someone, I saw a Seth Meyers interview with Mikey Madison, and
Me too.
he references without giving anything away, but he references the ending, and I
Hmm.
and I just like I was able to Patrick. I'm not saying anything about it.
Now I know a movie ends.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're right. You're right. The movie ends. Um, and uh, and I like immediately it was like about 30 minutes into the film, I'm like I know what this is going to be, and I didn't care, right? Like it
Hmm.
didn't right. I was just
Yeah.
super excited to see how it unfold, and the actor who plays the billionaire kid. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, buddy.
Bless
Thank you. Yeah, that was me.
you.
Um, and that actor, like that guy ruled, right? It wasn't like he was just like some guy they found on the street. He wasn't like an actual oligarch, right? like, like,
Right.
like he wasn't a party kid they found at a strip club. The guy's He's acting and he's amazing at it. Phenomenal. And it's just and what's so great about the film is they sell the film, which I would have gotten behind, almost like a Cinderella story, right? And the moment he runs away, you go, oh, it's not that.
Hmm.
You're excited to see what the next thing is, right? That happens early in the film, Patrick, just calm down.
Yeah.
Right? And you're excited to see where it's going to go from here.
Right.
Like, I was thrilled to be like, wow, it's really not that great. So what movie am I watching?
Yeah, it
So
totally turns it on its head, and you're like, wait, I don't know what's going to happen now. Like that long scene really upends the whole movie, and it makes you just on your toes the whole time. I do feel like it ended like once you see that they have some connection, you're like, oh, are they going to end up together? Like, is this like a rom-com? And they, we'll see where it ends up. But I didn't love the ending. I thought it could have been a little bit more open-ended or more interesting, but I also wasn't mad at it because,
but at the
yeah.
same time, I there's no way they are together. Like there's
You
no
don't
way.
think so?
No. No.
Okay.
I know.
See, that's
Um,
how I interpreted it.
You guys are killing me. You're
all right,
killing me.
I'm
Patrick.
sorry.
Yeah, we're
You're
No,
going we're
still
going
gonna
there.
love it no matter what. You're gonna forget all this by the time you
Because
see it.
he wants the intimacy, she does not, right? She actively does not want the intimacy, right? And all he wants from her is intimacy, right?
Yeah.
And she's so resistant, right? Because she's trying to do one thing, he's trying to do another thing, and then comes the sobbing, and he accepts the sobbing, and they got a different kind of intimacy, but that's not the intimacy where you're gonna go get married and have three kids,
But I
right?
feel like I feel like the idea is that he's catching her on her vulnerability of not being able to be emotional or intimate. And then what just happened? Is everything good with the
He muted us, so he can ruin the ending.
Oh
That's
my
what he.
God. Okay. Okay, that's a good move. But yeah, I feel like that's sort of like the beginning of a relationship where he's like, "No, I'm gonna like get through to you," and then she has to like her walls have to come down. And I could see a world where they could be together. I feel like that was at least how I interpreted them opening up that door for that. But I could also see where yeah, they couldn't connect because ultimately she can't really be vulnerable with him.
I would, or that, like the things that she says the night before, right, are all still true, right? And the
Hmm.
question is, can a relationship start, right? Like, and the movie's trying not to, it's not one of those movies where it's like, Gerard Butler kidnaps Katherine Heigl and then they fall in love, right? That's not this movie, right?
Right.
And I'm pretty sure like 10 years ago that movie had to have been made, right? And I love Gerard Butler, like hands down, right? But for that to be the foundation of this relationship, I maybe they have a friendship, right? Maybe it does turn into something else. My buddy Danny texted me after I saw the movie, and he said, "So when my wife and I went to go see it, this guy must have been, and this is on Long Island, in his 70s, like said to the people he was with when the movie ended, so you know why she cried?" And they were like, "No, why? It's the first time she ever orgasmed."
Oh my God.
I wrote back.
Jesus.
I feel really bad, but
Wow.
my knee jerk response was fucking idiot. And I'm not like calling that guy that. I'm saying that I'm talking about that. It was a knee jerk response.
Hmm. But what a way to interpret that. I mean, I think you might have to be stupid to interpret it that way. Was he joking? Because that
No,
kind of sounds like a joke.
I just unmuted you all.
Oh, right at that moment.
At that
You
moment.
have to go. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we can
Yeah.
wrap up.
Unwrapped Finally is hosted by Michael Lavalio, Leah Shell, and Patrick Lavalio. Produced by me, Eugene Mock. Thanks for listening. See you next time.